What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to another new Comic Book Day Top 10 list. Today I'm going to be ranking and reviewing all the books I picked up for December 14th, 2022's new Comic Book Day. This was honestly a fantastic week for books, and we had a lot of new series come out as well. Some of the ones I'm going to be talking about today is the very highly anticipated Batman Spawn from DC Image. Image had a brand new one with Art Brut, and I'm also going to be going over Marvel's The Invincible Iron Man as well. And as always, as I begin to talk about these books, just be aware that there's definitely going to be spoilers. I let some stuff slip up, or I go a little bit more in depth than I would like to, but to give you a heads up, I put a little spoiler tag down below in the corner to let you know that the spoiler is about to happen. And now, without further ado, let's get started on this week's top 10 list. So now with this week's new comic book day, I ended up grabbing a total of 12 issues. So obviously 2 of them did not make this week's top 10 list. And with that being said, with these 2 books, they're in no particular order, and I'm not going to be getting too in-depth with them. I'm just going to be giving a brief overview as to what happened in the issue and just my general thoughts and opinions on it. So the first issue I'm going to be talking about today is from Marvel. It's Planet Hulk World Breaker, issue number 2. This is cover A. I'm going to be honest with you guys, I'm a huge fan of Planet Hulk and World War Hulk. I think they're both fantastic reads, and I highly suggest checking them out if you haven't already done so. Now, as far as this one goes, I was really looking forward to it. I thought the first issue was okay. The second issue, very boring in my opinion. There's not a lot of action. I don't think the second issue had any action at all. But as far as the plot and story goes, they're really not doing much with it either. Now, what I will say about a little bit of positive in the series is they are doing a great job just developing the overall story. But there's not really a whole lot of stuff going on in the series so far. We still have Amadeus Cho as the lead, and he's got his granddaughter with her. And they're trying to save the planet. They're trying to save their people. And they're looking for Bruce Banner. That's kind of what this whole series has been so far. They're looking for Bruce. So some spoilers, they do find him, and it does leave us on a nice cliffhanger. So I might continue for one more issue, but just overall, I don't know. My opinions, I don't think the series is just doing it for me so far. The second issue we've got from Image, it's Radiant Black, issue number 20. This is cover A. It hurt me to put this outside of the top 10 list. This actually was a really good issue, but I'm telling you what, this top 10 list this week had all fantastic reads. So as far as this issue goes, the robot is finally on planet Earth, and that's pretty much what the whole issue is. It is a ton of action, a lot of awesome fighting. I love the artwork too. We got to see all of the Radiant characters come together as well. We got Nathan, Marshall, Satomi, Eva, the Radiant Yellow made an appearance as well, and there's just a lot of stuff going on in this series. So like I said, overall it was a fantastic issue. Pained me to put it outside the top 10 list, but now let's jump into that real list and talk about some solid books. Alright folks, and here we go. Kicking this top 10 list off first, we've got coming in at number 10. This is Marvel's brand new series. We've got The Invincible Iron Man, issue number 1. This is cover A. I honestly wasn't even sure if I was going to be picking this one up at first. I didn't even finish reading the last Iron Man series, but I skimmed through it. I really liked the artwork, and I thought to myself, why not give it a try? Maybe I'll like it. Right off the bat, I didn't think I was going to be a fan of this series. I pushed through mainly because of the artwork. The story is kind of told through his narration. He's writing an autobiography of himself, but I am so sick and tired of every single Iron Man series just being this sad story about Tony Stark, where he's just sad, he's upset about his life and just how things are going. And that's exactly how this one starts off. And I kind of thought, I was like, man, I might just stop reading it right now. I'm tired of reading these Iron Man stories like this, but I powered through it, like I said, mainly because of the artwork. I think it's fantastic, and it turns so good. I actually really enjoyed this first issue. Once you kind of get through that narration in the beginning, it's kind of him just setting up who he is as a person. So a new Iron Man fan could jump into this first issue and get a really good backstory on him and just jump into this and probably enjoy it, hopefully enjoy it. But that aside, a lot of action happens, and we kind of get introduced to a new enemy. We don't get the first appearance just yet, but somebody's after Tony Stark. They've got some pretty sophisticated technology. I'm excited to see where they go with it. I want to hear your opinions on it down below. And for those reasons, we've got coming in at number 10 this week, we've got Marvel's new one, The Invincible Iron Man, issue number 1. Next up, we've got coming in at number 9. This is Marvel's Deadpool, issue number 2. This is cover A. I think Alyssa Wong has done a phenomenal job capturing Deadpool's personality in this series so far. When I picked up that first issue, all I expected was just some cool Deadpool action with some witty one-liners. We're getting a lot more than that in this series right now. The first issue, we did get all of that, but on top of that, we had fantastic artwork and actually a well-developed story as far as the first issue goes. This second issue picks up exactly where that last one left off, and almost the entire thing was just straight up action. But other than that, we did get a little bit more plot development towards the very end of the story. But like I said, it was almost all complete action. We've got Deadpool. He's still kind of attached to this hybrid carnage that's growing inside of him. He's fighting Doc Ock. He's still trying to kill him so he can get accepted into the Atelier, and he is running out of time. The Harrower is there trying to save just the carnage that's inside Deadpool while everyone's still trying to kill Deadpool. There's a lot going on in this one. He makes it out, but that's when the actual plot development starts. So since he ran out of time, he failed the challenge from the Atelier. He can't be accepted, but he meets up with a character who's not supposed to be talking to him anymore, and some stuff happens from there. This is an awesome series. I definitely recommend it, especially if you're a Deadpool fan. And for those reasons, we've got coming in at number 9 this week. This is Marvel's Deadpool issue number 2. Next up this week, we've got coming in at number 8. This is Boom Studios' Grimm, issue number 6. This is cover A. I think they're doing a really good job on the story so far. I love the artwork. I think it's absolutely fantastic. And as far as the characters and plot development goes, they seem to be doing all the right things. Now, do I think it's as good as a lot of other people are making it out to be? Not really, but it still is definitely worth the read. Now, as far as this issue goes, I'm not sure if it's this one or the last issue that was the start of a brand new arc, but I love the kind of new change of pace that they're doing. In this issue, we get introduced to a few new characters, and I think we've moved on from Death and everything from the last volume, and now we've got Fate. You know, you can't outrun Fate. What's meant to happen is meant to happen, but they introduce another new character as well that seems to be able to manipulate people, and he's using them to his advantage. I love that side of the story. But then we've got Jessica and her entire group of friends that's still trying to deal with the aftermath from everything that happened in the last arc. They're trying to figure out how to move forward. They're living in Las Vegas, and they don't exactly know what to do next. But this entire issue was mainly just a mystery. Outside of Fate and that other character we get introduced to, a lot of stuff happens on Jessica's side of things that they just can't explain right now. I want to hear your thoughts and opinions on this series so far, and for those reasons, we've got coming in at number 8 this week, we've got Boom Studios' Grimm, issue number 6. And next up this week, we've got coming in at number 7, this is Images, Dark Ride, issue number 3, this is cover A. This has been a fantastic read so far, and I highly recommend checking it out. I love the artwork, and now as far as the storytelling goes, I feel like each one of these issues brings something new to the table, and they are getting better and better as the series progresses. Now, I will admit, this third issue is probably the slowest of the series so far, but that's not to take away from an incredibly well-told story. So the first one, we get introduced to literally everything, the characters, the history of the park, and how the park was created. Second issue, we get introduced to the kids and just a little bit of behind the scenes stuff that happens inside the park. Now this third issue, it picks up exactly where the last one left off, and we get to see Owen's sister. If you can recall Owen, he's the kid that went missing in the park. I think it was the end of the first issue, the second issue, and now she wants some answers. She wants to figure out what happened to her little brother. She meets up with a YouTuber named Theo, and he just does stuff on the Dark Ride Park all the time. He showed her videos and pictures of families that have died from being at the park over the years, and she's seen enough. She wants to get some answers, so she breaks into the park. We don't see a lot of other stuff from there. We do get to see some creepy stuff happen, but some of the bigger aspects to the story in this issue, we get to finally see their dad, what he's been up to. We don't get to fully see him just yet, but there's still a lot of behind the scenes stuff that's going on within the walls of the park that we just don't know yet. Like I said before, I definitely recommend checking out this series. It has been fantastic so far, and for those reasons, we've got coming in at number 7 this week, we've got Images, Dark Ride, issue number 3. Coming in at number 6 this week, we've got Images, 10,000 Black Feathers, issue number 4. This is cover A. Another hit from Jeff Lemire and Andrea Sorrentino. I am absolutely loving what they're doing with the story so far. I will admit this one is definitely going to be better read in a trade paperback or a hardcover format once they release it all at once, because what they're doing in this series, if you read Gideon Falls, it kind of reminds me of that, where they're fantastic issues, some crazy off-the-wall stuff happens, but you just don't get a lot of story in some of these issues. And to me, this one, while it did really propel the story, and they did a great job developing where it's going to be going, outside of that, not a lot of stuff did happen, but man, those two are creating such an intense, creepy atmosphere. So this issue picks up where the last one left off, and now it finally feels like we're moving forward with the plot. We did get some flashbacks, but not nearly as many as the other issues, and I absolutely love that they're now incorporating that book that the two main characters were writing throughout the other issues. That is going to be a big thing moving forward in this series. I love what they did with it. Such a creepy series. If you're a Jeff Lemire, Andrea Sorrentino fan, this is an absolute must pick up. But like I said, as much as I do enjoy them, and I loved Gideon Falls as well, this probably is much better read in trade paperback hardcover format. I want to hear your opinions on it down below, and for those reasons, we've got coming in at number 6 this week, we've got Images, 10,000 Black Feathers, issue number 4. And here we go, folks. We are down to the top 5 issues of the week. So coming in at number 5, we've got DC Image's brand new one, Batman Spawn, issue number 1. This is cover A. I wasn't sure if I was going to pick this one up or not. I'm not reading anything with Batman. I've read maybe a handful of Spawn issues my entire life, so I thought, should I really grab this one? Will I understand what's going on? Will I actually care as a reader to what's going on? But everyone I talked to said it was fantastic to pick it up, and my LCS, they were the game changer. They don't like modern books. They don't read a lot of the modern stuff, and they said this was a very good read. And plus, on top of that, it's McFarlane Capullo. You can't really turn that one down. Now, with all that being said, like I just got done saying, not a big Batman fan to begin with, barely read anything with Spawn my entire life. This was a very fun issue. I didn't really have any expectations. I didn't expect a good story from it. I expected almost complete action. And I mean, it pretty much was entirely action. And I'm not going to be getting too in-depth with it because I know a lot of people were really looking forward to this one. But they did set up a nice plot. They have a nice team up. They fight each other too, of course. But man, we've got a villain who's working behind the scenes, and a lot of other crazy stuff happens as well. I'm going to leave it at that for you guys because I know a lot of you are looking forward to it. Let's talk about it more down below. And for those reasons, we've got DC Image's brand new one, Batman Spawn, issue number 1. And now we've got coming in at number 4, this is Image's brand new one, Nightclub, issue number 1. This is cover A. It was $1.99 with awesome artwork. How could you not want to pick this one up? To me, this was an absolute no-brainer. Now, when I did start to read it, though, and they started talking about vampires in Philadelphia, I told myself, I was like, man, I mean, it was only $1.99, but I'm reading something exactly like that right now. It's called Philadelphia, but it's nothing like that. It was so good. This one was way better than I thought it was going to be. So we get introduced to our main character. His name is Danny. He wants to be a famous YouTuber. He's not trying to be a stunt man, but he wants to do something that obviously people are going to click on. He's doing crazy stunts, and he gets into a serious injury. And that's when the vampires get introduced. While he's in the hospital, I think they said he's got like a broken back and a broken neck and all this other broken stuff. So then a vampire comes and visits him in the hospital, and that's when the story starts to get a little bit crazy. He turns him into a vampire just like himself and shows him all the abilities that he gains, his super strength, and all the cool things that he can do as a vampire. So a little bit more of a plot twist comes to the story. And after he teaches him all this stuff, it's like, well, what do you want with me? Why did you turn me? And this is a bigger spoiler. He says, I'm trying to create an army of vampires. And you don't know where he's going with that. That's a very interesting side of the story. And like I said, $1.99. You can't turn that one down. On top of that, great artwork, phenomenally well-told story. It kind of pained me not to put this one a little bit higher on my top 10 list, but these next ones, they were fantastic. And then for those reasons, we've got coming in at number 4 this week, we've got Image's brand new one, Nightclub, issue number 1. And now we've got coming in at number 3, this is Image's brand new one, Art Brute, issue number 1. This is cover A. I was really looking forward to this one. I'm a huge fan of Ice Cream Man. As far as the series Haha goes, I think it was a 5-issue mini run, and some of the issues were hit or miss. Overall, I thought the series was more of a miss. This first issue was very weird. If you're a fan of Ice Cream Man, it's definitely going to be a no-brainer, but it's not going to be like Ice Cream Man. It's its own unique thing. So a little bit about this first issue without too many spoilers. So the world of fine art is falling apart, and it's causing people to get sick, and some of them are even dying. But at all these art events where strange things are happening, this weird symbol just keeps popping up, and the authorities don't know what to do about it. So because it's an art event and they're the art authority, they reach out to this guy, Art Brute, who does dream artwork. He's absolutely crazy. He's in an insane asylum, but he might not be as crazy as everyone makes him out to be. So they reach out to him, they need his help, and with him and his trusty sidekick, Manny the Mannequin, yes, it's a tiny little art wooden mannequin figurine that he talks to. He gets all of his info from him, and things happen from there. So like I said, he might not be as crazy as everyone makes him out to be, but this is a very odd, strange first issue. If you're a fan of Ice Cream Man, it's an absolute must pick up, but don't go into it expecting it to be just like Ice Cream Man. It's its totally own unique thing, and I really enjoyed it as far as the first issue goes. And for those reasons, we've got coming in at number 3 this week, we've got Image's brand new one, Art Brute, issue number 1. Here we go, folks. We are down to the final 2. So coming in at number 2, we've got Boom Studios, Specs, issue number 1. This is cover A. I absolutely love that first issue. I thought it was phenomenal. When I do my top 10 list, I gave it number 1 that week, so definitely check it out if you haven't already done so. The second issue was a fantastic follow-up, and it picks up exactly where the last one left off. The kids, they got those magic wishing sunglasses or magic glasses. They wish Skunk away, and he actually disappeared. They don't know what to do next, and that's pretty much what this entire issue is. They're trying to figure out what to do next. It was a little bit slower. We did get a nice cliffhanger towards the very end, but Skunk, no one really cares that he's gone, and they don't know if they should try to wish him back. Should they just try to move forward with their lives? All they know is that they need to leave this town, and they just want to move on with their own lives, but they don't exactly know how to do that. So we've got our two main characters, and one of them still has the glasses, and he makes a wish, and that's where the cliffhanger comes towards the end of the issue. I love that series. It is a fantastic read. Definitely check it out if you haven't already done so. And for those reasons, we got coming in at number 2 this week, we've got Boom Studios' Specs, issue number 2. And here we go, everyone. This is it, my number 1 read of the week. So we've got coming in at number 1 this week. This is Images, Ice Cream Man, issue number 33. This is cover A. I absolutely love this series, and I feel like this series has truly evolved from something in the beginning that was just creepy and weird, and they're following this Ice Cream Man who just does evil stuff everywhere he goes. But now they turned it into kind of, and here's the moral of the story kind of series. And I feel like they've been doing that since the early 20s, maybe late teens of this series. And you definitely need to check this one out. There's a hardcover format that I think covers 1 through maybe 15, 16 issues, something along those lines. But this one, I'm not going to be getting too in depth with it because like I always say when I review Ice Cream Man, you need to read it and experience it for yourself. So we've got our main characters in this one, and it's kind of from the writer's point of view. And he's saying, you know, I want to write this story, but instead it always comes out this way. So it's following Brad as the main character, and it kind of portrays him as, here's this story, and here's the other story. One's very positive, and one's very negative. And the writer is always saying it. I always want to write positive, but instead it's always negative. And to me, when I was done reading this issue, it kind of left me with the impression of there's always a different route in life. There's always something else that you can do, maybe to better yourself, maybe to better the people around you. And that there's always a positive just outlook of things. I love that about this series. They're doing a phenomenal job with it. Like I said, there's a hardcover. You can check it out in a ton of trade paperbacks as well. And for those reasons, we absolutely have coming in at number 1 this week, taking the crown, Ice Cream Man, issue number 33. And that's a wrap on this week's top 10 list of books, folks. I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to comment down below what your top read of the week was, which ones you think I missed out on. And thanks for watching, everyone. If you did enjoy it, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. And if you don't want to miss out on any of my upcoming content, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below with notifications turned on. You won't regret it. Now, I've got 2 more sitting off to the side here with more of my comic book content. Click on one of those, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day.